Hello, overcomplicated tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Renaissance, where that's not my final opinion on these classes, but at least a, a strong inclination. Hey there, folks. Between episodes, what did I do? I did the usual buy a million random items from the shops. At least it's not a ton of money. It's fairly simple nowadays to buy a bunch of this stuff. I think I changed from poison to water for fun, and I think I decided the drill was mostly useless, so I switched it to the stunning one, which is probably not much better, but, you know, we'll try. Unfortunately, they're kind of expensive to build, in that I don't have a lot of bolt ore, basically. Buzzsaw seems real good, Noise Blaster, like these are decent, the crafting is, the crafting. I also bought my last level 7 spells, and I think that's it. I put a dragon crystal into the scarlet sword. You can just buy these, so they're not very hard to get, and it's going to be obsolete soon, but you know, might as well use it for the next boss. I kind of decided not to go too far into re-equipping stuff, because I want to wait until we're done Sky. We're going to get a bunch of endgame armor and weapons, and I just feel like it's a pretty minor difference. We're going to get a third ribbon, and then I can just make sure whoever doesn't have a ribbon on can get all the other resistances. And then at that point, I might as well just make sure I give them the most magic defense, or maybe even not magic defense, just absorb or something, evade at that point, because it doesn't really matter. Once you have resist all, it kind of defeats a lot of the purpose of adding, like, you know, protect rings death crystals effect, right? Like, you know, I could move that over, but I don't think it matters. Other than that, did I do anything else? Oh, I was going to show you guys. I made a saber sword. It's better than a power glove, technically. So you can cast saber with saber. That's it. I couldn't think of any other good. I've got another. I could move lightning too, but I don't have a weapon that's like lightning too. But I did have a saber. There's also the confuse spell is on a crystal. I can show you what I've got. I could get a harm staff, a confuse staff, or sword. If you can think of a good name of a weapon that would be appropriate. It doesn't really matter on the weapons, but the armor defaults, it's really nice to move them into the weapon slots, because I have no space in my armor, and I'd rather equip stuff. So anyway, the last thing is, in my catch-up, is I was like, hey, I'm still missing that one samurai skill, right? I think what I've learned is that you fight the Ronin not a certain power at a certain point. Like, it's not a fixed, this location has this Ronin. It's every time you've defeated one and gained a skill, the next one unlocks. So the last one, probably you don't usually fight in Earth, you know, because it's behind some giants here. Normally the last one would be in Ice Cave, I think, was the last one I found. So I had a feeling it would be in the first half of the game. It took me a while to remember which corner I forgot to check of all the maps I've been on. And I think because I found one of the Ronin in the Titan's Tunnel, I'm like, oh, this area already had one of the skills. Surely that's all we needed. But no, there's another one right here. I don't expect this is going to be incredibly difficult, but let's get our final pre-promote Samurai Ronin skill. I think we technically already saw what this does, because we can do stuff like that. 450, 350 dead. Yeah. Not super surprised. So this skill, I think we picked it up and then decided it was trash. I'll talk about these more when I get to the end of the game and spend some more time just giving my final review. I do think a lot of the samurai skills are not worth it. So I'm not super annoyed that we didn't get this till later, because it just doesn't really matter. With that said, we're going to head straight to Mirage and Sky and deal with Tiamat and all that. Unfortunately, the Samurai's quest requires a ridiculous amount of gold, like over 200,000 gold. So I don't know when we're gonna have that kind of money free. Maybe after the next dungeon, but I might have to do some dedicated grinding just to get his final quest. It's kind of the same as the dancer. I don't know if I love the gigantic gold dump for class quests. It's a little bit like you have to grind like hundreds of thousands of gold. I don't actually think like this group is not the cheapest group to equip. Don't get me wrong, but this is not the most expensive group. We only have one spellcaster, and they don't even really get a lot of high value level 7 and 8 spells, really. If you had a black mage, white mage, a pretty standard composition, you're going to spend at least twice as much on spells, and that's not cheap. Anyway, because we don't have enough money, I have to take more fights in general, which does mean we're going to be a little bit higher level as we get towards the end game compared to probably the standard, my standard routing where I run away from most things. We definitely don't have the inventory space to hold on to stuff like heal helmets, but I can put it into a staff or something if we care, or just leave it as a crystal. Now, the Beast Sword, one of the new ones, nobody can equip it. It's effective against beasts. It's got good stats, but it doesn't really matter. So we get rid of it. And the Aegis Shield at the very least. Oh, actually, that was something I wanted to check. It's got a poison and a stone equip. Okay. We're gonna move that right on up immediately. Poison Stone. Usually it was, in vanilla, it's just one element. Poison Stone was the same element, basically. Because there's not very much stone that's not poison, so it's just the same. Obviously based on the reflecting Medusa's glare thing. We'll be getting the next armor in a second. This means the ice shield, I think, is obsolete. I already destroyed the whatchamacallit, the opal shield. I think, you know, if I left the dungeon and sold it, you know, maybe there's a world where we want it for the samurai one day, but it's pretty unlikely. So let's just make inventory space, keep moving. That's a lot of Medusas. I still have like one person who could be turned to stone if we're unlucky. I guess I'll use one of my auto crossbows. It's just, I actually find I don't like using the tools much because I'm worried I'm gonna have to go recraft them all. It's up to 6 hits. It was 5 hits last time I used it, so that's pretty good. You know what I should try out? Putting wind element on a weapon. Would that do you any good? I doubt it. I don't think there's very much weak to wind. But what I want to try out here, hold on. This is a fine chance for it. We don't have any spell magic. We could use skill. Let's use don't get hit. What I want to do is cast fast on auto crossbow. And honestly, finding out if Saber... Oh, Saber... So when it was on the Power Glove, you could use it on an ally, at least in the last version. I haven't tested out in this version. Maybe I should have. I thought it would work the same after it was moved over, but maybe it's not. Because this was just self-saber rather than the Power Glove using it on a friend. I always thought that was a little bit broken in Renaissance, where you could use the Power Glove on an ally. But this is a sort of nerf. Slightly. I mean, it is nicer to move it onto a weapon slot, but... anyway, the idea is, does that haste affect stuff like Repeater? I assume the Buzzsaw just says 4 attacks, but this is based on your number of hits, I think. So are we going to get, like, 12? And no, are they going to do massive damage? Yeah. Well... Massive, maybe not the correct term. We attacked with a hammer for 1,000. Our auto crossbow still had a roll of like 50, so it's I don't think it's very good at enemies with armor. The base damage is very low. Sure, you can get like 12 hits out of it with haste and stuff, which is cool. But what was that? A bad man? What's the stats on a bad man? 38 absorb is basically enough that it doesn't really do. It needs crits to heal damage, and yeah, that's okay. Okay, good science experiment. It's nice at least that your buff spells do affect the tools, at least some of the tools. That means maybe skills like the Black Mage's Bluff that boost your intelligence might affect the magic damaged ones, like the Aqua Blaster maybe. That'd be kind of cool. Not like it really matters, but I think mummies give really good money. We should just rename them to mummies. Honestly, the Aqua Blaster's damage, not bad. That's with the Master Hammer buff, whatever that is doing. Yeah, 5 grand. Vampires, I think, is the best. There is a way, if I'm desperate, to do a hard reset outside of Mirage on the world. And then I think the first and third encounter on the first floor are big vampire packs. They're not incredibly difficult to kill, obviously, at this level. But they give really good XP and gold rewards. Are Cerebus weak to water? They should be weak to ice, so, like, obviously there's a bit of overlap. That did do... Yeah, they are weak to water. Cool. I didn't really plan that out too much. I was just like, poison doesn't really work on much, so let's try water. There's those vampires I was talking about. And, I mean, we could have, like, harm staffs and mage staffs all spread around by now, too. Ooh, the fighter didn't one-shot. Money, hammer. Now, if we didn't already have the Master Hammer, would equipping... Nah, the Thor's Hammer stats are actually trash. I don't know if I ever really noticed it as a kid. You know, it's the ultimate white wizard weapon. It's the best weapon she can equip outside of the Massa. But the stats are actually, like, a short sword or something. So 50% damage bonus on that's not really enough to matter. Sun Sword, however, 3230. Anti-undead. I assume that means we can get another undead crystal out of it if we wanted. Yeah. Yeah, inventory space is going to be a problem. Oh, and the dragon sword. Dragon armor. Yeah, it just has a crystal of each of the elements. So that's got to be the best base armor, right? 42 absorbed with 3 slots. The opal armor was 42 absorbed. Same stats, but only 1 slot and just lightning resistance. So even if you had a ribbon equipped, you could give the dragon armor 3 earth absorbs to go up to, what is it, +4 each? That'd be +12. You get 54 absorb on this puppy. That'd be pretty cool. Although, as usual, this is a standard good combo. All we're really missing is a protect ring or something. And, I mean, I might as well move that over at this point. I guess technically we're missing a couple elements. Time, status, earth, water, wind, those kinds of things. And I could put those onto the helmet if I wanted. I guess. Let's get rid of the opal armor. Or wait, is there... Well, no, I should... We're gonna get a ribbon in a second. I shouldn't get rid of the opal armor. I should get rid of the ice armor if I'm gonna get rid of anything. Get rid of the lower base stats, and... I can change the crystal in here if I want, but that does give him better, you know, basic stats. Alright, that's fair. I wish you could switch augments, like, mid-dungeon, honestly. It would be so much nicer. Some wind ore is actually quite good. Holy Spear, can we actually use that? Yeah. So these are some of the potential final weapons. I mean, we've got way too much stuff again, as is kind of tradition. I think we get rid of the Vorpal Sword. The base stats are okay. It's the highest crit. So I suppose if you put 2 crit ores, I think it's lightning ore or something, I think you can get +10 crit in here, which would get you up to 25% crit rate, which is, like, nice. But I think we're gonna be using better weapons anyway, so it's just taking up space. Goodbye. Honestly, we're not gonna use the heal staff, and I can rebuild it if I want. I can rebuild the mithril spear if I decide I want one. I can also rebuild the mage staff if I decide I want one. We've got a couple spell items. The mithril bow, I can also rebuild if I care. And that way we've got a little bit more space to play around with weapon slots. I don't know when I'd ever use this double axe, honestly. We could get more XP, but I don't care much about that. In fact, I'm trying not to get XP. I'm trying not to overlevel too bad. I don't think there's any world where you don't equip the enhanced sword on your red mage or whoever else can use it. I'm assuming blue mage, probably. That'd be really nice on the blue mage. Any spellcaster that can equip it should have that, for sure. And then the sun sword is slightly more damage, slightly less hit rate. So most of the time, it's slightly better on the paladin than the defense sword. Except for every once in a while when you get an extra swing. 128 is the next one, right? 32, 64, 96, 128, yeah. There's nothing else changing. At least it has anti-undead, which there are vampires around. Other than that, I'll give you the free lightning too. The holy, yeah, I want to move that spear up. The holy spear is strong. That's another technical upgrade. We're going to be getting the katana in a second anyway, so it's kind of the problem, right? I guess we'll use some... I don't actually think we're conserving uses anymore now that we've got the master hammer. I feel like the novice hammer conserve uses, whereas the better hammer just makes them more potent, which is good, but I kind of... I mean, I've talked about this enough. I don't think you should have to craft consumable tools that... Like, if you have the money, they're basically infinite. It doesn't really matter. And if you didn't have the money... I mean, I can't really imagine a world where you couldn't afford as many of these tools as you want. So it's just a matter of, like... How much time you want to spend deconstructing and buying, you know, replaceable items to craft one-shot use things that are... Honestly, they're not bad, but I don't think they're, like, crazy overpowered or anything. Mostly. At least the early game ones. You know, like the chainsaw buzzsaw one, that's pretty good. Can't argue too much about that bad boy. Oh boy, that's a lot of these jerk birds. But yeah, like, why wouldn't... Like, I understand the item magic is a little bit weaker because it doesn't get buffed by your intelligence or anything. But I don't have to worry about recrafting those. Whereas every time I use an aqua blaster, I'm like, oh, I gotta make sure I don't run out of earth ore. I mean, it's probably whatever ore it is. The nice thing about the aqua blaster is it's water ore, which I have tons of. But some of the other ones do use stuff that I'm running quite low on. I'd have to go do a dedicated grind to get more of, basically. Do I really want to go back to the volcano and grind agamas just to get more fire ore? I mean, we could, but... This is where we're... This is what I was always expecting was the best bolt ore location. Obviously, the blue dragons can deal some damage, and we don't seem to always get a drop. That's too bad. The anti-dragon sword is pretty good for this stuff. What's the odds here? 0 to 2, so it should average 1, I think. I'm not sure how the spread would work, but in theory, 33% chance of each number, right? Although I'm getting a lot of zeros. I don't think it should, like... Lightning, this is another, like, minor critique. Bolt ore is such a rare thing for most of the game, because there's not enough lightning enemies, right? This is the only, you know, grind tile I can think of, and it's a fairly tough fight. I don't really think this needs to be, 0... like, I think it should be... I don't even want to use all those heal potions. Let's take a little break here. I hadn't really gotten very far anyway. I'm just gonna go to an inn. I don't think it should be mandatory. Like I don't know. I kind of think ore maybe should just be purchasable. Maybe. Just like how all the metals... I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I've been trying not to play this too much. I'm taking like a day off between every couple episodes. Just to soak in some of the mechanics a little bit. And try not to overreact too much, right? But, it's... like, I guess you don't need like hundreds of bolt ore or lightning ore. You just need probably 20 or 30 or something and you'll be okay, but... do I really need, like... to grind that out just to use like a core class mechanic? That's kind of the thing, right? Like, it was the same problem I had with the archer having to grind fangs and other weapon or monster drops, basically poaches. It's not that it's particularly hard, it's just the other good jobs don't need to do that, you know? Like, I don't need to grind anything for the fighter to be good. If anything, some experience and gold, sure. But I guess I have a different feeling on experience and gold. Like, it's progression for everyone at a consistent rate, and it's based on how difficult the enemies are for the most part. Stronger enemies give you quicker XP gains, you know, right? The non-linear ones where you need fangs, so you have to fight something that drops fangs reliably, might require you to, you know, fight imps. And then you're not getting any gold or XP. You're not getting group progression. You're just getting one singular party member's progression to do kind of basic stuff. You might be better off just getting some levels, honestly. That's kind of the thing, right? Like, if you just want to kill stuff and beat the game somewhat efficiently, you probably shouldn't be doing any of that. You should just go get a couple levels, get a bit of gold, buy your weapons and armor, whatever, explore the next dungeon, and keep moving. So that's kind of what I mean by, like, that, trying to explain why I don't like these dedicated material crafting grinds. It sounds like an MMO almost. Okay, I have a feeling these will be useless. Yeah, these worm equipment aren't, like, they weren't very good ever. It's relatively high absorb, but I think it's mostly for the Dragoon and maybe the Beastmaster. Kind of like an alternate version of late game armor for them, but it's not as good as a Protect Ring or a Ribbon, so it was never like high quality gear. Anyway, I'm not trying to smack talk these all new mechanics. I just think, for me at least, for my taste, dedicated class mechanic grinds. So like, I have played some MMOs, right? I have not avoided all of them for my entire life. But, I don't enjoy, like I know some people enjoy, like, crafting, right? Like, you farm, yeah, Bane on, yeah, don't forget the Saboteur Red Mage with 70 plus intelligence is still busted as heck. Pretty fun. No one can equip the Royal Axe, so we get rid of it. We should get like 200,000 gold, right? Why don't we just get gold out of the gold axe? I want gold. That'd be much better. But yeah, so like an MMO mechanic, especially like the older MMOs, you'd have like crafting classes and stuff, and you spend a lot of time just farming materials, picking up herbs, flowers, whatever. Mining, stuff like that. I remember playing Ultima Online and stuff like that, and I know RuneScape does stuff like that too. I think even the more somewhat modern ones like WoW and, well, not very modern, but second generation MMOs, whatever you want to call them. You know, they still had a lot of that as well. So I know some people like those sort of alternate progression systems, but I feel like in a classic JRPG, we're going to be getting a ribbon in just a second. I guess the heal helmet is worthless, so... Is there... Wait, hold on. Double check his stats. 6 absorb. It's probably worse than a mithril helmet. Yeah. Same base stats as a mithril helmet. except only one slot. So no point holding on to that base. But that's an MMO, and MMOs are like literally one of my biggest complaints about MMOs is they're literally designed to waste your time. Like, you pay a monthly subscription fee, the mechanics, the level, at least older ones, the progression systems are generally designed that you level up slowly, so you have to spend hundreds of hours fighting whatever you're fighting, and that always irked me that became the standard for MMO progression. I know not all new ones are as bad, like it's maybe not as bad as it used to be, right? But I remember playing, like, Maple Story, I think, the 2D sort of platformer fighting game. I forget the name. I think that's the one. It was popular back in, like, the 2000s or something. It's old by now. I think it's still around, but I remember really enjoying it at the beginning because the progression was at least similar to normal RPGs. But then at some point, like, oh, I need to kill, like, 5,000 monsters to get one level up. That means I can go to the next zone and then kill 10,000 of the monsters there or something, right? Like, it's just, like, I don't... It doesn't really respect your time, is what I would say, probably. So, I have always been a little bit sensitive to RPGs not respecting my time when I'm playing these things. Hey, weak to water. This is one of the reasons why I built it. Slow counts as a status, that's why it hits the fighter. Aqua Blaster mostly one-shotting rock golems. That's pretty good. Here's our ribbon, anyway. There was a second Opal Shield. I forgot about that. I mean, if you really wanted it, if I could throw it into a caravan and stash it for later, I would, because in theory, it is probably part of the highest absorb build for the samurai. If you're trying to give them max absorb, you want Opal Armor, Opal Shield, with whatever slots you craft into it, and then probably a glove and a helmet, and not the boots, because the boots are lower. But if you want to use the two-handed sword skill, then it doesn't really matter, I guess. And I probably want to do that. Anyway, more garbage. Yeah, so do I consider the Renaissance, you know, archer, engineer, is there anyone else? I guess, like, the Spellblade's quest to unlock all his, whatever you call that, the leveling up of the enchant spells. I would consider that similar in that it's only for him, and it's kind of a waste of everyone else's time to just watch him kill enemies one at a time until he's got his leveled up spells. Like, you know, it's just a little bit, like, it doesn't, like I said, I think the main thing is it feels like it doesn't respect my time. So, I'm a little bit harsher on those mechanics in general, is the main takeaway, I think. Looks like we got a nice level up or two. Edgar's HP is growing a bit. I feel like the engineer might have, say probably better than Black Mage HP growth. A little bit lower than Red Mage, which is pretty low. So it's got to be like one of the low tiers of HP compared to most classes. And that's not a huge problem. Alright, so now we get these bad boys. Comes with ice time. Oh! We can give time protection to the fighter. It doesn't really matter, but we can sort of make a ribbon. That's cool, yeah. Because the black shirt always gave you time protection. It just normally doesn't matter because you just wear a ribbon anyway. But yeah, most of these protections on the black shirt are usually redundant. But yeah, that's cool. I like that. And then similarly, the white shirt doesn't have anything unique. Fire and death are just normal. But we can move the Invis 2 onto something else. So that's cool. I mean, it's a nice, like, it's a small upgrade that you get for having an engineer, being able to move spells on armor onto weapons. It's an upgrade, but it's pretty minor. Like, that on its own isn't enough to be like, oh, this is overpowered. That's just like, it's a nice little perk. I think the augment system in general is pretty well balanced, except that you have to go all the way back to Dwarf Cave to do it. I kind of think you should just have a mini hammer or something. Maybe you can buy a mini hammer in like Melmond or something, or Crescent Lake, and you just have a little, like, you can't craft new weapons, but you can just augment on the fly or something. I'd be happy for that. So we will be getting our Excal. What else is there to do? Katana we'll want to pick up immediately. I don't expect the Protect Cloaks are going to be very important on this run, but we'll find them. Oh, we don't want that helmet. I remember in the NES version, it didn't tell you what item you were picking up before you picked it up. So if your inventory was full, it just said can't carry anymore. And you drop something like, I guess I'll drop my Protect Ring because maybe this will be better. And then you get like some silver helmet or some cloth armor in the final dungeon. You're like, oh, come on. What a troll. Okay, we can get rid of that bell too. Free bolt ore. Okay, good. And what are we looking at? Bane's sword you never really equip anyway. Bane is going to be worse via an item than via the red mage just casting it, if we want to cast it. Tempest sword, yeah. So we don't jump anyway. Oh, but it does have wind on it as well. That's cool. Doesn't really matter, but we can equip it. Very high damage. Although not as high as our two-handed Scarlet Sword, but... I mean, I'm happy the Samurai can equip spears. It's not the build I'm going for, but if you want to use a shield, these are definitely the way to go. It's actually... Isn't that kind of funny? The Dragoon can't equip shields, right? That was one of the things I used to complain about. Let me double check this works. I can't imagine a way of them stopping that. Yeah, so a Samurai can equip shields plus spears, or even a Ronin can do that. That's kind of funny. Why can the Dragoon not use shields? The one focused on him can't even use them. He's the spear master, but he needs two hands. And then the spear, the guy that can use most weapons, he can just single-hand them, and they're just as strong. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm gonna do some noise. Be confused. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, we've got too many cool things. There's a bit of that going on, too, right now, where we have access to so much awesome stuff. It's hard to grade them against each other, because it's kind of all too strong. Oh, I didn't want to leave that equipped, actually. Yeah, it's not... It's definitely an upgrade. 5% more crit, 4 base damage, which turns into 6 more damage, and 10% more hit. So we're 3 levels off of 5 attacks, which will mean we get there before the Paladin. Well, the Excalibur is going to be a little bit... I think the Excal has 35 hit as well. I forget. We'll find out soon enough. But yeah, I think that the Samurai is often competing with the Warrior for who does the most damage in any section of the game. They're both very competitive in general, like physical swinging competitions, right? And I really do know that I'm not using these hardly ever. That's cool. 4 attacks at half damage. Well, it's okay. Fire damage to all foes. That's pretty good. Restores HP, removes stats. I think, honestly, the weapon skills maybe just need to not use TP. Maybe they could have a fatigue turn or something, or I don't know. I could see them costing something. Like a key point in modern D&D terms. Like, I understand, as always, I understand not wanting to let the players just spam all these awesome abilities constantly. But the fact that I can't use them on turn 1-ish, I know nowadays we do start with 100 TP, but now that you start with 100, everything costs more than 100. So I could spend a turn to make them a bit cheaper or gain more, but really we do that by attacking. So assuming something survives this round of attacking, which is unlikely, the weapon skill would have to do more than like the damage we dealt with when we attacked. And I don't think it's ever actually competitive. I think the weapon skills, yeah, they probably should just be available. Because if you're dealing fighter tier damage, you're basically one-shotting enemies once you're level 12 or something, you know. Other than some bosses. And is there any value in the Procate? It does have 2 slots, actually. So it's a shield slot. I guess it's better than the boots, if we put something in there that we want. Yeah, it is actually a small upgrade. Okay. We can get... I can hold on to that, that's fine. This is like the last, theoretically the last of the treasure anyway, so that's okay. Now, we do have another quest to do. The engineer needs to fight Warmech. I might just kill Tiamat, save, and then try to do that on its own. Maybe. It would be nice to get all my weapons upgraded and stuff before we come for the Warmech anyway. I don't think it's going to be a hard fight. If we run into him, you know, naturally, then that's fine. But I don't think I'm going to specifically grind it out on our first trip. Just in case we get nuked. Maybe the scroll... We're still looking for our last tool scroll. It's got to be somewhere, right? It can't be in Topher. Those sentries, the pink robots, actually have a ton of armor. Even the regular robots are pretty good. So even the buzzsaw barely cuts through. I mean, it cuts through just fine, but it's not doing crazy damage. So that might be one where the drill would be good. Or just do magic damage, you know, like usual. Getting some more levels either way. Definitely getting a lot of XP here by taking all these fights. So where is that final tool? I feel like I've explored pretty thoroughly. I mean, if it's on the wraparound maze floor, that's going to be kind of annoying because it does take a while to get into all the corners there. Have been using the Aqua Blaster a fair bit, but like, it would be better if you could just cast it 7 times and not have to craft them, you know? I still think my best case scenario, if you don't want them to be infinite use, is you either build them or buy them, and then it's just up to the number you have built or crafted or bought. You can use that many. Maybe per trip to the inn, maybe something like that. Depends on how expensive you want them to be, but yeah, that... So, if I was a scroll... let's not bother with bad cats. Would you put a scroll on this dumb floor? Wizard Vamps. Hey, buddy. Well, I had a Sun Sword ready for him. Strahd hates the Sun Sword. But, he didn't even get a chance. Oh, poor Edgar, always a level behind the rest of the group. Never forgive Ice Cave. Never forgive, never forget. Honestly, not even that much damage. Yeah, I guess 67 base damage is just hard to beat, even with the extra effectiveness. Well, I don't think there's any scrolls on this floor from the looks of it. I mean, for how late we're getting this final tool, it better be friggin' awesome. Our first air elementals. There's no trap tiles with these guys, I don't think. But this would be probably an easy way to farm if you could force these encounters. The wind ore, which there's not a lot that drops it. That should be the out teleport. I'll do one loop around just in case, but do we have anything that kills air quickly? Probably not. I mean, maybe we do enough AoE via these two, but... What's the point of using magic when you just kill them with your weapons? Well. Okay, this is definitely the most fighting I've done on this dungeon in ages. But we should have some money when we're done. Hey, that's even enough money to challenge a samurai. And maybe buy my red mage spells, stuff like that. Alright, well. Nope. Did I get lost? One. Oh no, I did that on purpose, sorry. Because I had to loop past... Yeah. Unless I started going down after starting to go up once or something, but... Oh man, these man cats I hate. They resist basically every stat element, and they spam annoying spells like this constantly. So. They just waste my time, and then I gotta chug like a billion heal potions. Oh, come on. Jeesh. The turn order was just brutal there. And that is why everyone needs ribbons, or full elemental protection at the very least. Fire, ice, lightning. We still went through like 50 heal potions. Alright. Do we get him? Not yet. I was thinking of doing the Mega Confuse on Tiamat so that she hits herself for massive damage with the single target confuse tool. But it's kind of a mess, because why would I do that when we could go like this and just kill her? Or maybe even just like this. Nah, she's got too much absorb. Didn't do that well. On the other hand, 856 damage one-shots her. So, you know. And that wasn't even the dragon slaying sword. That was just a regular katana with haste. We're not even at a high enough level to get 10 hits yet. Or fast, whatever, double attacks. I mean, that's just the standard way of killing everything. And you could have done that to the fighter just fine. I guess the samurai's a little bit stronger right now with the, because we didn't go get Excalibur. If you went back and got Excalibur first, it would have done even more damage, I'm pretty sure. Alright, we'll be back for War Mech. Don't worry. Want more heal potions and stuff. Obviously we need a cool legendary sword, though. I love it when you get off the airship and fight immediately. It's like these wolves were just waiting for us to land. You think they'd learn better by now to leave us alone. Alright. The big boy swords. I'm not too surprised the samurai can't equip it. But, yeah, multiple, effective against everything, or almost everything. I think they mentioned it's not including every single family that the Renaissance adds, but... Yeah, 35 base hit rate is the standard best outside of the Massa, and then 45 damage is absolutely bonkers. The only thing it doesn't do is crit. So that's... Well, basically on parity. Very much the same. And I have to feel like this is almost designed. Samurai with a katana, two-handed, versus Paladin with an Excalibur normally. They're almost tied in damage. Now, this guy gets crits, this guy gets effective bonus damage against everything. It's probably pretty close, you know? The extra crits are great, but just bonus damage to everything is also pretty great, you know? We're gonna get rid of the Sun Sword. No point ever equipping that anymore. And the Scarlet Sword as well. No point ever equipping that again. We can just buy them if I change my mind. We can't buy Holy Spears, though, or Tempest Spears, so maybe we hold on to those. It does have Holy Element on it. That is very rare. That might be the only Holy Crystal that exists. Looks like you can't deconstruct Excalibur. It's part of a quest chain, so I'm not too surprised. No way to buff it anymore. It would be kind of funny to putting the... Well, no, Holy wouldn't do anything. It already has Holy, probably. I can put something into the Katana. I could make a Holy Katana. I don't know. What would be the best? Honestly, just more damage, probably. I think if I give it +3 damage, it's like +5. Because it's an odd number, I assume it rounds down. We're getting +50% base weapon damage because of our skill. So 33 is probably adding 16. And if we go up to 36, that's probably adding 18. So that'd be +3, +2, 5. 5 damage for one slot. And it just works against everything. Or we could lean into the crit. Or we could give it a, give it one of those crystals. But whatever crystal we put in is kind of gone forever. Because we're never going to disassemble the katana to get it back. Probably. Did I look at those skills? Yeah. Am I ever going to use the Bane Sword? No. Let's just get rid of the Bane Sword. Okay. This is fine. So I'm gonna move the Saber Sword up to the fighter, so because it can only self-buff now, so there's no point having it on the engineer. Well, there's a small reason, but they're not the ones swinging for crazy damage. And then I think the samurai wants, theoretically, weapons with cool skills, or other weapons that were... Like, theoretically, I can switch to the Holy Spear mid-battle, if I want to do bonus damage against undead, in theory. Which probably would net similar or higher damage. Or if it's weak to wind, you can switch out. Like, there's some value in just having different elemental... I mean, I don't think it really matters, but in theory. Okay. And then armor... Right, the plan was... Oh, I don't really have a plan. I think what we want is... to make sure my one non-ribbon character has full elemental protection. And I think we just keep the mithril helmet. I could have given him the opal helmet or something, and he'd have slightly better absorb. But the 2 slots here, we want time and earth. If there was a way to get status, I would put it there. Right? But I think... Well, hold on. There is a couple other things to consider. We need to craft the final sets of armor. Let me make some more space here. I don't want to get rid of the Protect Cape. But I think the boots are... Wait. Can we... There's something... Okay. Let's not deconstruct them. Earth, water, or doesn't really matter. What I need to do is find out if any of this stuff is good, because I never made it, because, money. And, honestly, inventory space is a big problem right now. So, mithril boots. Not that hard to upgrade. I could have done this long ago. Genji boots. Oh, are they all going to be Genji gear? Is it good? We don't know. Is it good? No. I mean, max HP is okay. Run chance 50% is nice, I guess. But no slots. Why are there no slots? If these are supposed to be ultimate armor, they're gonna have to do a little better than that. Alright. I have a protect ring we could use for the glove. I mean, I can just buy a new one if it's fine. In fact, I was kind of planning on taking the crystal and putting it into a mithril glove anyway. Sure. You seen it here first. Protect ring turns into Genji gloves. Damage up. Okay, okay, maybe. All damage up 15%. It's not huge, but the absorb is decent. You definitely need to pair these with a ribbon then. Okay, interesting. I need a spare mithril helmet, spare mithril shield, a gold bracelet, and a steel armor. Well, let's go do the steel armor, and then we'll go do the gold bracelet, and we're gonna be friggin' broke. I usually find Genji armor is, like, tied for top tier, so if it's not competitive with dragon armor, I'm gonna be kind of disappointed. Who's got the slot? I don't even remember. Okay. But this is definitely, I think, so the crafting system is like, it's neat. It's sometimes, I think, a bit underpowered. I think maybe the forging system is, other than the enhancer and the master hammer, not much in here has really impressed me. The mithril gear is kind of low tier for mid-game. And then you need weird fangs and stuff. Like, the requirements are sometimes a little annoying. But it's actually the inventory that's the problem. Oh. Is that... Oh, it's not even dragon armor tier. What? It's fire armor tier defense. I mean, it has good evasion. It's better evade. Usually it's -10, not +10. 200 hit points is okay. You should go over 1,000 hit points. Yay. That's not good, is it? Am I missing something? The run chance is niche. Could be okay. Damage up. Yeah, it's okay. But no slots, no protections. And then, like, the base armor on the Genji armor, I'm not sure that's very good. Alright, let's go get the gold bracelet. I mean, I'll unlock them all, but, like, okay, the main problem I have with all of this weapon and armor crafting is there's no inventory for armor. I think if you want this to be a major mechanic, we need more than 4 armor slots per character, because it's way too much micromanagement, buying something, and then deconstructing it, and then crafting it, and then selling it, and, like, there's no space, right? It's not... FF1 was not built for this, and I think it's fighting against the system too much. So if you want this kind of crafting, we need a armor bag or something, you know, for it to be, like, you know, easy to use. Genji bracelet, damage down 15%. Wait. The fact that you also don't get it is... I just spent like 100,000 gold. Oh no, I gotta spend another 16,000. Okay, so the Genji bracelet is 34 the same as Opal, at least, I think? Yeah. So it's same armor. But what I'm worried about, and I'm not sure, when it says all damage down, that would be bad, right? Because I don't want to do less damage. Does that mean both for and against you then? So you take 15% and deal 15% more. Which, does that mean this is the same, where you deal 15% more damage but take 50% more? Like, it's probably an okay trade on the higher, like, if you equip this on your fighter, you deal more and take more, I guess. Whereas on this, only a support character like a bard or like a green mage, maybe, or a white mage, maybe, would ever want that. Maybe if you only did like status afflictions on your red mage, but anyone who attacks physically or does, I'm assuming, magic damage, it says all damage. These don't seem... I'm not giving this the BlueAnkylo seal of approval yet. These look kind of bad. Have I crafted a shield? Yes. Forge. I mean, not that I expect any of them to be any good anymore, but... Auto safety. What does that mean? Nobody... That's not a spell. That's not a real thing in this game. Bye. The stats are good. I mean, you do get a lot of evasion on that shield. I think 16 absorb was the Aegis and Opal, but they only had 0 evade. This is positive evade on your shield, which is nice. Still no slots to have defenses. Auto safety. So usually auto effects are like when you're low HP. Safety, is it like protect or shell or something? Like from a different game? I have no idea. I have no idea what that would be. I'm gonna build one more helmet. Because I don't want to unequip the one I've got right now. So we build a new one, then we buy it, give it to somebody, then we upgrade it. You can kind of see why this is like maybe too many steps. It's just 100 HP. Again, 15% evade. Like they're not consistently 15% evade. But that means you could give someone shield, helmet, armor. That's 40% bonus evade. That's not bad. It just means you can ruse up to the max quicker, but against regular enemies, it doesn't really matter very much. I have to say, Genji gear, I'm not really vibing with just yet. Maybe on a bard you want something like this. So, like, the white mage and grey mage actually have pretty good HP, but if you had a bard that doesn't do damage and only supports, this would give them a lot of extra HP, and assumedly they would never deal damage anyway and just take less. So, like, that's okay. Breaking the 999 HP cap, I don't really care about. The run chance, you know, sure. You're kind of sacrificing combat stats for running. Damage up could be good. This is kind of the only one I see as viable right now. And I assume it means you take more as well, which makes it double-edged, but, you know, maybe. Damage down, very niche. Breaking HP, I mean, the absorb is not high enough, and then the evade doesn't really make up for it. For a final, like, endgame armor. Auto safety, maybe. I don't know. Alright, what else can we forge? Is there anything else? I could make a mithril whip, just to show what that is, sure. I think I just have to buy it, actually. Already done most of the work here. Just didn't have enough money last time through, probably. Wait, what? I need more fire ore. Oh. I don't even want... I can't go to the next one because I don't have... Well, I have some inventory space, but let's... This episode's going to go a little bit long because I want to finish my late game crafting and then I want to get that war mech. And... Clearly, we're at the point where I have to go specifically hunt down different ore flavors. We're just going to do a few fire elementals here. Should be fairly quick. I had like 8, now I have 9. I'll try to get to like 20 or something. It won't take very long. It's not really a huge issue, but... I mean, I'm just doing this... I mean, technically I probably need more if I want to do all the tools for Edgar. But that was 3. That was pretty good. I think most of the ores have a pretty easy way to farm if you want. I haven't... Like, it's odd that the blue dragon didn't drop lightning ore reliably. So I think lightning and air are still kind of the weird ones. Unless I've missed a monster grind spot. Water's very easy. Fire seems pretty simple. If you... I mean, there's not a lot of places you fight fire elementals, so you have to do it at the volcano, basically. But, Earth was pretty common, water was pretty common, super common, really. Fire's not bad. Ice wasn't too bad. There was, like, the images at, in Castle Ordeal, or not Ordeal, sorry, Northwest Castle. There was mud golems as a trap tile in Ordeals that gives you infinite earth if you need to grind those. Although there's earth elementals in earth, of course. Yeah, there's probably trap tiles for water elementals too. It just doesn't really matter because water's easy. Yeah, but there's no air elemental trap tiles that I can think of. And definitely no lightning. Like, I don't know how many enemies even would drop lightning. Like, it's... Other than the blue dragon is very lightning themed. Is anything else lightning themed? I mean, I didn't check the robots. We probably have enough. We're at 32. Yeah, that's more than I needed, probably. Quick check. Come on. So I checked the blue D for lightning. Is there anyone else that does, like, lightning stuff? Enemies that are sort of lightning coated. I mean, yeah, the birds are air, so you have a chance at wind ore. Yeah, ice ore is not a problem. Fire ore is not a problem. Nothing from gas Ds. A lot of the spectral undead are ice, which is fine. Lightning. Gurnagas, do they have lightning? No, doesn't matter. They drop nothing. Guards, they don't drop anything. That's my robot. This is, if anything, Gurpeed should be ice or fire because they're Remoraz, technically. I'm not. Mages cast lightning 3. You know, that could be one. Lobsters don't drop anything. Humanoids don't seem to drop anything. Okay, jelly, but that's not an encounter you can fight normally. This is a special summoner battle, I think. I forget which fight it's in. It's in one of the summons, I think. So normally you can't do that anyway. That doesn't really count. Hey, Hades. I thought you were a boss. I guess he's like Warmac. He's just random. Man-cats. No. Okay, so maybe the slimes in general. Is that the case? Did I skip the green slime? Unfortunately, there's no trap tiles that do those guys, right? Mux, oozes, yeah, bolt ore. Oil is a special summoner one again. So I guess that's the idea, is if you can find a lot of... But that's the thing, they're pretty rare. There's not a lot of those just around the map. Seems like that's kind of the only thing that's got bolt. We get schematic Warmac. Wait a second. That's something unusual. Earth or... Yeah, it looks like it's just the slime creatures and blue dragons. Without checking every single one, but... okay. So not easy. And then Windor is the same kind of thing. It's just the birds and the flying creatures mostly. Anything undead that's corporeal is earth. Incorporeal seems to be ice. Alright. Okay. Anyway, that was getting sidetracked a little bit. Let's keep moving. So now I can at least craft this whip. And I should have enough fire ore, hopefully. You can kind of tell by how much time this all takes for relatively low impact. It's kind of a downside, I would say, of some of this crafting stuff. It's definitely fiddly without, you know, adding much. Now, I'm only doing these just to see what they are, because I'm curious. Obviously, I don't have a Beastmaster, so it's not going to really work, but... Legendary Whip of Certain Doom. I mean, it's got decent damage. It has a use Doom effect. Wait, we could just buy that and use it for the Doom spell? Doom spell's time magic, right? I didn't actually think it was very good, but that is funny. We could actually get a spell that is locked to time mage on someone else. I mean, that's something. Well, maybe. It doesn't say it's a weapon slot. It doesn't have a crystal for Doom. But you could just buy the whip and use it, of course. That'd be fine. Okay. Maybe. Excuse me? 4 iron staves and an iron hammer? 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have to drop something. Annoying. The truth is, I don't really need the Thor's hammer, and I can build a new one if I want it. I mean, I can build an equivalent lightning casting hammer if I need it. Okay, 4 iron staves, 1 iron hammer. The iron staves are down here. The iron hammer's in Canaria. I mean, this is kind of... I don't know. Like, in some aspects, I kind of like this. It's kind of funny. That's 4 iron staves. Like, I don't hate all of the inventory micromanagement stuff. I kind of just think there's too much overall, right? Like, that's more my opinion is, oh, wait. Well, it's a good... Yeah, okay, never mind. We're safe on this one. I was thinking, once again, you need a white mage or something to be able to equip a hammer. But we have someone else who can equip a hammer. That helps. I think if you have a fighter, they normally can just equip all weapons. You shouldn't... Except for nunchucks, I guess, technically. But if you can use sword chucks, you should be able to equip nunchucks and buy the nunchucks. Alright. This is... What is... I have no idea. This is 4 staffs and a hammer. Turns into an 8-sided staff. Is that a real thing? I mean, it's got 160% hit. Yikes. I assume it's only going to be equipable by... Well, is it a monk weapon or a mage weapon? I don't really see the point in that, but I don't know who uses it, so that might change my opinion. A platinum spear. Okay, that's an easy one. Side quest. Clearly, I need the inventory space, though. I can't do this all at once. Yeah, I think the crafting would be better with more inventory. That would help. I think it just needs a way to reduce the micro for me. And then I would like this prospect a lot better. Like, it's definitely not too bad once you've got the airship, because no encounters at least. But until you have the airship, having to sail here, and it's just kind of too much hassle. I definitely think augmenting should be not locked here. I think this menu should be somewhere else. And then forging, sure, but we need inventory space somehow. Alright, we get a Gungnir. Okay, that's a classic. I assume that's Dragoon only. Reduces defense. I don't know what that means. The damage is good, the hit is bad. The crit is probably average for a spear. Okay, cool. Couple more. I think I don't have an Onyx Greatsword. We can do the Cat Claw, though. We can do a Cat Claw and the Iron Bow. I think that's it. We can buy an Iron Bow, we can buy a Cat Claw, using up my Bolt Ore. And I don't know about the Onyx Greatsword. Even if it's for sale, we can't buy it. And if it was something we found in a dungeon, I probably deconstructed it instantly. So I'm not going to, unfortunately, be able to unlock that one at this moment. But I will show off the ones I can, and we'll have to figure the other ones out on another playthrough. Iron Bow, and what was the other one I'm looking for? Cat Claw? Okay, I know what that is. And I think that's the end of our crafting adventure, basically. Although we need some augments. Yeah, we're not quite done. One Cat Claw, please, sir. Of course, now I barely have enough money for... Maybe I should go do that samurai quest before I spend all my money. I was thinking it's about time to buy my level 8 red magic, but... You know. I should... Should I get the war mech first or the samurai boss? Maybe I'll try to get the war mech first, because it's a known quantity. I know what war mechs do. I don't know what samurai boss does. Alright, forge a breaker dagger and... Wait, what? Oh, no, I need 15 bolt ore. Oh, man, okay. Well, I can grind that up on the way to the war mech, I guess. That's really annoying that we can't make this katana. I don't like that at all. Oh, I missed this page. Mithril harp. Can't buy it. Oh, no, I can craft these. Fine. I missed a page. I was so turned down by not being able to buy iron nunchucks. Unless there's a chest somewhere that has iron nunchuck in it. A battle harp. Alright, and what was the bell? Can we do the bell? Mithril. 2 mithril bells? Oh, man. What happens when you put two harps together? Or 2 bells together, sorry. I did the wrong one, dang it. Almost there. Almost there. Forge. Bell. The Tinker Bell. Hilarious. Okay, is that everything? No fangs. Not enough bolt ore yet. I don't think I can get an onyx greatsword. I can't get iron nunchucks. I've crafted everything else. Okay, that's as much as we can do. Are these interesting? So, Gugnir reduces defense. Not sure what that means. If it's like the archer shot that reduces defense by 4 to 8, it's garbage. If it's better than that, maybe. Ignores defense. A dancer would love this. Assuming a dancer can equip it, I expect. Equip this with that critical knife. You don't even really need it, but whatever does the most damage. Steel harp. A steel harp. It calls it a battle harp. You just hit things with your harp? Is that what we're doing? Triple XP on a kill. I mean, if you want your Geomancer to do damage on an attack, but they have 1% hit growth and no strength. Yeah, I don't think that's great. I don't think that's great. This one might be. Maybe. Doubtful. Maybe. Interesting. Okay. The only one I'm missing right now is the bow and the stuff I can't build. Okay. Hour and 12 minutes. Oh boy. Oh boy. I didn't buy the potions. I don't know how much farther I'm going to make it today. I'm going to try to get that war mech. Maybe I should just save it for the next episode anyway. I don't know. I got a lot of... Well, I guess I should just end the episode. I actually need to think about, once again, moving my armor skills around. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. So I need to spend a little bit of time planning it out, and maybe... Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I know I was excited about doing War Mech and the Samurai Boss. Next episode, we will do those. And I am going to try to figure out a better equipment setup here. It's pretty close, but I need to move over some ore to the... Or some crystals to get full... As close to full status protection or elemental protection on the fighter as I can get. Which we can do via crystals on the helmet and whatever other slot we use. Because we're not going to get a ribbon. So we can get like another mithril... We can do a mithril helmet and a mithril glove or something. And he will need death, right? Like, I need the Pro Ring Death Crystal. So he needs a Death Crystal, an Earth Crystal, maybe the Time Crystal. I think that's the only 3. But I could throw in water or wind if I wanted. But I don't think that really makes any difference. Or just give him some absorb after that anyway. Other than that, obviously we don't need ice crystals here anymore. So I'll... Actually, that's very much almost exactly what the fighter needed, actually, right? He doesn't need the ice, but I can go death plus earth. Whatever, I'll probably end up making more mithril gear. And then I'll figure out what I'm doing here as well. Yeah, I haven't put anything. The opal bracelet. The protect cape is pretty good, so I want to use that. Should have equipped it in the first place, I suppose. But yeah, there's just a little bit of like inventory management that I'm kind of getting overwhelmed by that I'll plan off camera. And I'll make sure I've got all my crafting stuff again. And I think that's all we need to do. I would like to get some cool weapon skills, but I don't know. Maybe I'll farm up the bolt ore off camera as well. Okay, that's the plan. I'm going to end the episode here. I'm going to get a little bit of stuff set up for the next episode, so you guys don't have to watch me stumble around for too much longer. Kind of learning as I go, and then trying to get things sorted in between episodes. I think it's a decent balance. Next episode is likely to be the last one, though, because it's pretty likely we destroy Warmech, destroy the Samurai boss, and destroy Temple of Fiends. So, look forward to the final showcase, and I will give my final review on these, first impression, first run. I think I will want to be doing a solo run with both of them, just a spoiler alert, to really dig into their mechanics, because I think both of them will be fine on a solo challenge, and now that I kind of know how they work, I can kind of plot it out a little bit. It shouldn't be that bad. And if I do a solo Samurai or Ronin, they will definitely get to use their weapon skills a little bit, even though they still just attack mostly, I think. But it'll be more useful to have weapon skills. And a lot of their garbage things that I consider completely useless for normal runs, maybe on a solo attempt they have some value. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'll have to think about it. Anyway, we're going to call that here. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for bearing with me here. I am excited with all this new stuff. It's just, boy, it's a lot. It's a lot. I kind of hope that the next couple jobs are, whatever the next updates to Renaissance are, they're not as kind of crazy complicated. I think it's okay to have a couple jobs that are maybe overcomplicated, but it's better for them to be simple in general. And some of these are maybe overtuned, and some of the stuff is just garbage, and other things are way too strong. So, like, the balance is still not really fair. It's still, this thing breaks the game like a time mage, and this thing is worthless, never use it. So you're kind of switching between those two extremes, and the more complicated it is, the less I want to really spend a lot of time on it in general for average runs. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed.